guys, and welcome to the 3 decks on the table, or I think, yeah, that's gonna be the name that I'm using for this series. This is going to be a more practical review, maybe, of some decks. So what I was thinking I would do is pull out 3 cards, not 3 cards, 3 decks that I actually worked with in the long run, and you know, just show you how they look on the table when I do a reading with. And how I would thinking about is I will do 1 deck at a time, and I use a spread from the guidebook. We see how, you know, how the cards could be read together, and then at the end of those, after, you know, looking at them individually, I will pull a card from each and, you know, do a 3 card spread and see how they work well, if they work well together. And in the first video, I was thinking about using the Deviant Moon, the Mermaid Tarot, and the Light Seers Tarot. So in the future, I don't know which decks I'm going to, you know, pick for this one. I'm probably gonna have up a few, you know, votes in the community tab. So if you're interested in, you know, giving your opinion, which decks you would like to see in a setting like this, please either, you know, vote on these, on those future posts, or leave a comment down below, because there's there's a lot of you know, options that we can mix decks together. And just because if a deck was featured in one video already doesn't mean it can come back in another one, even though, because, you know, some decks have multiple spreads. But if I run out of spreads given in the guidebook, I will just do a quick 3 card spread in that video and refer you back to the original one where I had longer spreads or bigger spreads. But, you know, we can still see how it works with the other decks, if that's something that you're interested in. So yeah, just let me know, and I honestly hope this is useful. And yeah, let's start with, I think, the Deviant Moon. Okay, so I don't keep, this is the tag box, but I don't keep mine in the tag box because tag box sucks. I have mine in a little pouch I made. Okay, so the Deviant Moon has 1 spread in the guidebook, and it's quite a big one. It's 10 cards, so it's gonna take some time. So I'm not going to get into really a lot of detail in the cards. I'm gonna hold it up so you can actually read the spread if you want, but I will go through, where should I put it? Somewhere here. Go through what the positions and what the cards mean, hopefully relatively quickly, because I don't want these videos to be really, you know, long. And if you want to use them as a general reading, think about a question that you want to get some answers to, and see if the cards might illuminate something for you. So this is going to be position 1, and I'm not gonna, you know, do it in the way that it was displayed in the guidebook because I don't have the space. Position 1 is the Inquirer, present day, represents the Inquirer and all circumstances in your present position. So we have the King of Swords, which is cool. King of Swords is first of all, it's a king energy. It means that you mastered your suit, you mastered the element of intelligence, you know how to play the big chess game that life is. You know where to place yourself on the board, how to move people around, and you can see the big picture of things, how they are happening. And ooh, look at that, we have another king. The second one is past influences, events from the Inquirer's past that shape the present day in a known or unknown way. And I'm gonna stop shuffling and just cut the deck because we would sit here forever. So past influences are the King of Pentacles. It's interesting because there might be, in this case, this king as someone else. It also can be because a kind of how I see this deck, it gives me a feeling of just economy, and your choices and your past self were influenced by outside circumstances that has influence on your finances. In position 3, Hopefully you can see that. It's the Three of Swords, which is interesting. You know, in the tree, there's a tree. This is the subconscious influences, underlying forces in the inquirer's mind, as well as your dreams or subconscious thoughts. So there's some, you know, heartbreak influencing things. Maybe there is something that you need to let go of because you're still, you know, dwelling on some past hurt that's stopping you from moving forward. The Tower, that's never fun stuff. Secret desires and wishes, interesting. Hopes and dreams not yet realized. You want to bring something down. Which, you know, if we're looking at the past influences, the king here, you might want to change a bigger system because, you know, the Tower is not just your life. It could be authority, it could be an already existing system. And there was I think the reason why there was a crown on the original Tower, or if not, then there was one in the deck that I learned to read tarot. It could be a warning to someone in power, someone who has a lot of influence, that things are coming down and things are changing. So there might be someone, because you're the King of Swords, that you kind of want to dethrone in a way. Your hopes and dreams that are, you want to change the status quo. That's what I would say. Okay, in the next one, in the 5th position, we have the hidden forces, unseen powers that affect the inquirer. And we have the 6 of Cups. And that's nostalgia, that's past. Again, you know, but it's not that necessarily a sad way, but it could be a past life that you imagined, you know, in a past life, in a way that a life you wished you had. And sometimes you think back that when you were a child you wanted to be this and this, and you know, that could be something that still influences you, because even though you're not thinking about those secret old wishes or desires, they somehow creep up in your life. In the 7th position, we have the Sun for surrounding environment, elements of home, work, community, or any type of environment you find yourself in. Interesting, because then we have the Sun for the environment, then the Tower, you know, might not be about, you know, workplace or something like that. You want to bring down someone else though, because generally there's clarity about you know, community, you know, everything that surrounds you. It has clarity, you know what to expect from people, and there's generally, you know, happiness and joy, which is a good thing. But you still want to bring something. I'm quite liking this one here. it intrigues me. I want to know who is the target audience for this reading, because I definitely feel like there's someone that this is you know, for. Okay, in position 7, right? Oh yeah, sorry. I left out the 6th. The 6th was events yet to come, represents future happenings in the inquirer's destiny. Okay, so happiness is coming, it's not the environment. The environment is the Ace of Pentacles, which is good. Oh, and it makes more sense now, because if we have an event yet to come is the happiness and so on, then if you bring down that person, you can reach happiness. That's interesting. And you know, that's why, you know, we're gonna make some errors along the way, or I'm gonna make some errors when I'm doing it, because I'm trying to be, you know, quick. 5, 6, 7, we have the surrounding environment, and that one is the Ace of Pentacles, new beginning for something. To you can establish something that will be in your life for a long term and will add to it positively, which if you manage to bring that Tower down, obviously, you know, that's a new start that will shift things into place. Influence of others represents how those you meet or deal with affect your persona, and we have a Knight of Wands. So that's kind of sad, because they kind of make you feel less confident. They make you feel you need to protect yourself. But if you're in the king position already, you know, because you established yourself in some sort of way, that brings along with people who will try to get a piece of you, so to speak. So unfortunately it makes sense that we have this one here. And in position 9 we have the spiritual forces, the effects of spiritual influence over your question. Well, I have no idea what the question is, but we have the Wheel of Fortune, so there's a chance for things to, you know, whatever you want to do, there's a chance for it, but you have to grab that chance and you have to use it. It's also a reminder that everything is cyclical. If things are looking up currently, then at some point they're going to, you know, change and go down. So if you're in a positive place, make sure that you keep everything in order, so when things are not that good, you will still have a strong foundation. And if your things are not looking up, maybe that's why you want to bring something down, then this is a reminder that things will change and you will be able to experience something better. And in the last position we have the Seven of Swords, which is the final outcome, culmination of events, the result or answer to your question. It's quite interesting because the Seven of Swords is usually someone is doing something sneaky behind your back because they are aspiring or conspiring to do something really, you know, not so nice to you, because that's how I read the Seven of Swords. So the Tower might be, I mean, now it can be about you because that's your desires, but maybe those you want to bring down will try to do the same, or because this is the final outcome, if you do all these things, you might find yourself in a position where others will, you know, get hurt by your actions and they will try to get back at you, which I think that would make sense with all the cards on the table and how they came out. So if it resonates, please do let me know, because I want to know how it resonates. But all in all, I hope you can see how this deck works in an actual reading. As you can see visually, it's quite heavy on the not humans, because they're not humans, but on the creature element. So it's more about expressions, it's more about the figures in the cards than anything else that comes out. What else do I want to see? I mean, okay, nothing jumps on me currently that I want to mention, but I hope this was useful about this deck. And we're gonna move on to the Mermaid Tarot, and then, you know, pull a card at the end of the reading or readings to see how the three works together. So, okay, deck number 2 is the Mermaid Tarot, which I keep in this felt pouch because the Llewellyn big box is something that I do not like. For this one, I decided to use the 4 elements spread. There's more spell work in this book than, you know, spreads. So there wasn't a lot of chance to, you know, experience, but there's a 4 element spread. You can read the whole thing if you want to, but basically you need to separate the cards into 5 piles, the major arcana and the 4 suits, which I already did, and then, you know, pull a card from each for different things. Okay, and these are the majors. So well, I think I should just do, you know, like this, pull one and then leave it at the place of the pile. So let's get a major arcana, and yeah, it's a very good shuffler, but sometimes it runs away. So this is going to be, each major arcana is a step along the cycle, blah 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 blah. Where do you now find yourself along the path of your current situation or problem? So think about a current situation or problem you would like to get some ideas about, or to help you, you know, solve things. And we have, oh, the Empress, okay. And then we have the swords. Let's get, okay, the swords are, how are the winds of change blowing? Do they favor you or do they offer you resistance? Let's see. Okay, change my mind. I'm gonna go in order. I kind of like the idea of, you know, harmonizing things around, but okay, let's do that. I'm really trying not to do actual readings. Ten of Swords, nice. So whatever you're thinking, they are not really favoring you, I would say. Even though you are in a very good place currently because you're the Empress. You have everything you want to. You have everything if you want to create something. You know, you don't need to wait for outside forces. You can use whatever you have to create whatever you want. So you don't need to, you know, worry about too much things, even though you might, you know, how I would see these two cards together, especially because of their places in the spread, is that you might wait, you might still wait for other people to come in and, you know, help you and save you from whatever we are talking about, you know, I'm not saying, you know, you're waiting for others to do things instead of you, but you're not confident enough to believe that you can do it on your own. But you don't need to wait for, you know, others. If you wait for others, then that's a blockage, and that's gonna be what hinders you, because you're not actually, you know, taking steps, because you're just waiting for someone else to come in and help you, when in fact all you have to do is start whatever you're thinking about. In position 3, what is the flow of the situation or problem? Is the water flowing where it needs to, or is it moody and stagnate? Ten of Cups, it's absolutely going where it should be going. Interesting. Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups, it's a very prominent no and a very prominent yes. So don't worry, whatever you're thinking about doing, things are going in the direction that they need to go. I like that. For the Pentacles, we have, how solid and strong is your commitment to getting the results you desire? Okay, that's an interesting one. Let's see. Okay, I'm not kidding. Ten of Pentacles. And we're not gonna get a Ten of, you know, Wands for the next one. I'm gonna be sad. But it looks like you're very committed. It looks like you're on board, which is good. I was kind of expecting, you know, this not to be so strongly a yes because of how the two work together, but it looks like that besides, you know, maybe waiting for other circumstances, outside circumstances to get more favorable, you still want to do things, and you know, you're still committed. You want to do things. You just have to realize that you don't need to wait for other people. Okay, let's pull a card. I mean the ace. Okay, it's the 1. I mean, if you reduce the numbers, these are 111. So, but it would have been cool. But I guess that would have been too much. So yeah, Ace of Wands is the fire can burn with resolve or burn with anger. How is your fire not burning, and it is burning in your favor, or is it cutting a path to destruction? I would say it definitely burns in your favor. Ace of Wands is all about kind of embodying the whole suit. You know, it's an opportunity. I associate aces as positive cards, so I would never say an ace is a negative shadowy card in any spread, even if the lack thereof is just not being able to clearly see something. But in this spread, it's an absolutely yes please. So your passion, your creativity is definitely you know, helping and working well with whatever you're working on, whatever this little reading is all about, which I love. It sounds so exciting. Please let me know if it's you know, resonate, and I hope this helped you you know, to see how this deck works in a reading. As you can see, there are mermaids. The elements have different colors, not necessarily easy to distinguish between, besides the swords and the wands. Those are, we have lava for the wands and ice for the swords, so that's easy to differentiate. With the pentacles and the cups, there's more yellow in the pentacles, and I guess just general colors for the cups, so they might not be as distinguished color-wise on the table. The majors are easy to spot because they have more vibrant colors, I guess. Not vibrant, but they use more colors from all, you know, all of the color spectrum that were chosen for the minors. But yeah, hope this was useful. If you have any advice how to do these sort of readings, what do you want to hear about, please do let me know, because I'm doing this to help you guys pick decks to work with. So, and we're gonna be on to the last one, which is the Seers Tarot. Okay, the last one is the Seers Tarot, and if you're a subscriber or have watched any of my videos, then the poor thing that I broke, then you know that this is one of my stable and basic and loved decks, so no surprise if I'm gonna be positive about it. And there's quite a few spreads. There's a 1 card, 2 card, light worker, illumination, soul, joy spread. But I was thinking doing a quick light and shadow spread, because this could be very well applied to any problem, because there's a light seer card, which means where is the greatest opportunity for light in this situation. So, you know, just think about the situation that you would like to get some insight on. And there's a shadow seer, which is where is the greatest opportunity to heal shadow in this situation. So, you know, I like the idea of not just looking at pain and suffering as an opportunity, because obviously we can, you know, be like that, but okay. Interesting. But to look at the shadow as well. Okay, so let's check again. Where's the... I can't remember if I showed you close enough how the spread works. But, you know, if you want to read the whole thing. So this is the light seers, where the greatest opportunity for light in this situation. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. So whatever we're thinking about or talking about, there's a chance of learning discipline, finding out what you can be good at if you practice it enough. You know, this is the card of not just being patient, but sticking with it, sticking with something that might feel boring, might feel just too repetitive, because if you stick with it, you know, you will learn about yourself, you will learn more resilience, you will learn discipline. So there's a chance, whatever we're thinking about, to learn discipline, which I think is a great thing to learn. And the shadow seers, we have the sun, which is interesting. We have the ultimate, you know, light in the shadow self, or shadow seer position. And the greatest opportunity to heal shadow in this position, I think it's great, because I think the answer is to bring everything into the surface, out to the light. Because if you're leaving things in the shadow and you don't see them clearly, you can't heal them. So the greatest opportunity is whatever you're dealing with is to actually bring things up. Don't swipe them into or under a rug. If it's a conflict between people, let's talk it out. If it's a conflict between you and, you know, yourself, journal about it, start writing things out. Why do you feel the way you feel? Because there's something there that needs to be brought up to the surface, needs to be talked about, to examine, to look at, to shine some light on, to get some clarity that would actually help you solve it, which I love. And I love how we have rainbow colors on both cards, you know, I always love that. So I know it's not a big spread, but I think it's a very useful one. And, you know, I love how these cards look visually. They work very well together. Oh, Queen of Pentacles, one of my favorite cards. There's a lot of cards that I love in this deck. Like I said, it's one of my all-time favorite and most used decks. That's why I started with a simple one, because this one is probably gonna come back in other 3 decks on a table videos, and we have some other spreads that we can use for those as well. So don't worry, there's gonna be all the rest of the spreads probably at some point in a video. But what you can do is, you know, when you look at cards like this person is looking on the left, kind of at you, you know, it's more kind of giving me that feeling of looking, not looking directly at someone obviously over your shoulder, but indicating that, hey, I'm aware that you're here. So it's kind of like, I don't care that, you know, other people might look at me in any particular way. I'm sticking with this because, you know, this is something that I want to do. And we have someone who looks up, so they are not looking at each other, which can be used in a reading. But yeah, I think that's all. You know, like I said, if you have any criteria you would like to, you know, hear about when I'm doing these quick example readings, please do let me know so I can highlight them for you. And let's do the one that I promised at the beginning. Let's have 1 card from each deck. I'm just gonna put it back before shuffling it. And I'm gonna do a quick general, so think about a question, and I will have a, you know, a problem, where you are currently, and what's the tendency spread. That's my main go-to spread. And I originally wanted to do the Deviant Moon as the problem, but you know what? I'm like, nope. Let's use the light Seers for the, what's the root of the issue? Not even problem. What's the root of the issue? And we have the Magician. Let's pull one for the current situation from the Deviant Moon. Quite similar colors if you look at it. We have a lot of yellow, green, and you know, darker ochre, kind of earthy green. And we have all those colors here as well, which is already interesting. I love checking the colors because color harmony in that way always tells me if there's something there. And that's the 5 of Wands. Huh. Okay. Okay, and let's pull 1 card for the tendency, and obviously not. And we have the same colors, and you know, there are cards in this deck like, okay, upside down, but like this Queen of Wands with a lot of lava, and you know, like yellows and reds and blues. So interesting. We got a 4 of Pentacles. Who I mean, this mermaid has all the similar colors that the other cards have. So this color, this yellowish, greenish, brownish color could be significant for you at this time regarding whatever the question is. The root of the problem, or the question why we are talking about things, we have the Magician, and this is the only major. And when this is in this position, I read it as there's a lack of confidence, there's something missing. You're not seeing something, because, you know, the Magician is someone who has every element at hand. They can create something new from every existing things around them. You know, they already have everything in every aspect that's connected to the minors, and, you know, they can create something new out of those things. But when it's in the, there's a problem, there's something missing, it's usually there's confidence or there's money missing. You don't have an exact idea that you want to execute, because if you know your idea is not clear or your goal is not clear, you can't start working towards it, or you're not passionate enough about what you're doing, and there's something that you need to look at why you're not passionate about. And we have in the current position, there's a lot of stake weighing, there's a lot of conflict, not big things, but petty arguments that could come from the frustration you're feeling because you're missing something. And if you manage to find out what is it missing, this conflict will go away because you will see more clearly, and the tendency will be a Four of Pentacles position, which is be mindful about your resources, knowing where you want to give your time and energy and who you want to spend time and energy with, which is always a good thing, So I don't mind it at all. So that's a more stable position that you can end up, especially, coming from a 5, which is all about imbalance and change. You can transition into a more balanced position if you figure out what is missing and why you're not able to move forward with whatever this reading is talking about. I think they look really nice on the table together. Like I said, I love the colors. The creatures are, I think, highlighting the fact that this is not serious, because, if you think about that, this is us in this reading. And these are just like shadow puppets, like na 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 na, nagging at you kind of feeling. But you can, just wave them away if you are confident and if you know what you want to do. And, because this is a mermaid deck, we have some water as well with the Four of Pentacles, which is the earthly suit. And we have some water here as well. So emotions are definitely on the table, even though there's no cups on the table, which is always interesting. So yeah, I hope this is interesting. Honestly, it is for me, but obviously I want to know what do you guys think. If you have 3 decks that I have and you would like to see them in a reading, something like this, please do let me know. And yeah, I can't wait to hear your feedback about this one. Hope that this was useful. Please like, subscribe, share it with other people, because that helps me. Check out the description for all the ways you can support my channel, where to get my oracle decks. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely day. Bye.